And we are live. What's up, fam? Everybody on the rewatch? Because I'm expecting everybody to be pretty damn busy now that it's Christmas. I think where you guys might be Boxing Day. It's probably Boxing Day in the middle of the night, to be honest. You know how we do it down here, down under? We just stream at whatever time we like. So, what I'm going to do, oh, that's at 500 waves. I actually thought that was at less waves. I did do some milestones. Oh, hold on a minute. Sorry, Jens. I did see your comment. For some reason I seen YouTube edit it out. There we go. I put it in there. Good morning to you too. Good morning to you too. Why is YouTube editing everything out? What is it doing? Hold on a minute. We'll just search up there. Where do we go? We go to the... What do they call it? Is it YouTube Studio? YouTube Studio. Sorry. Just gonna cut the music for a minute. I know there's a way. I know there is a way. Where is it? Customization? Nah, there's another one. It's somewhere in here. I think it's in the settings. Settings, general. Last thing we want is you guys to be talking, and then it's editing out half of everything what you're bloody saying. How did I do it last time? Sorry, guys. I know what I'll do. Sorry. We'll go back. Back. Get out of here. Get out of here. Should be able to actually just do it on my phone way faster. How's everybody's Christmas been? The fat jolly fella get ya. Everybody get spoilt for Christmas. There we go. Content controls. Live chat moderation. Don't hold any messages back. Full send. Blocked words? We ain't blocking no words on here. You know I've got the worst potty mouth. Alright. We're back in action. We're back in action. I should be able to speak freely. I was actually going to hit this up. But this is already at 500 waves. So now I'm sitting there thinking, well, I can't do this because this is way too strong for me. Even 80 waves is a bit of a reach. And the reason why is because today I'm pretty excited. Because I've actually been really loving these changes to the tournaments and that. Now, I don't know if everybody else has been. Because, you know, in any sort of update there's winners and losers. But for the most part, I would say it's all relative. Like, if you were averaging around here or there, then unless something's completely broken or you lean too hard into a specific thing, then, you know, you may win or lose in a patch. But we got ourselves a new toy. Father Christmas and the Little Helpers delivered. Check it out. Let's go. Now, I do only have like one level in the lab. And I even 5x'd it. just in case. But there's enough there if we do need a gem rush. Gems at this time, when there's banners going, when I need to buy another car slot, it is exactly what we do not want to be doing, is gem rushing a lab. However, my friends, gentlemen, we will if we have to. Now the reason why I'm excited for this is because we're going to test. We're going to see how long we can keep the amp strike buff up. Now, in previous tournaments, because the wavelength is so low for me now, I almost get no uptime from amp strike. To the point where my death penalty run did better. So, what we're going to do, we'll look at the battle conditions. Now, I'm pretty sure this might be a pain for me, these top three here, especially with the armored. But it's neither here nor there, it is what it is. We're not here for that. It's probably the basic ultimate. Now, I'm thinking that the RNG of the basic ultimate is probably what's going to interfere with the test. But we've got enough gems there that if we want to rerun something, we can rerun a fair few times. So, what I'll do the first run, and I'll cancel the intro sprint at... We'll try 200 waves first, but if I'm clearly like, can't even handle 200 waves, then, you know, we can do it at like 150 waves. That's just so we're not sitting here all day on the test run. And then the next one, we'll go full send until the second wave procs. The only side thing is, which I don't think I'm going to do super well, but we can only wave skip up to wave 360. So I put a bit of a 5x on the lab in case we need to gem it, in case we get past that point. But again, I don't think we are strong enough that we're able to do it. So to put it in perspective, my account is about as strong as Christian's Guardian. So the little Guardian thing that's floating around the screen, it's about as strong my entire account is. So I'm not expecting to get to 360. If we got to 360, I'd be absolutely over the moon. What I'm more curious is, and again, the RNG or basic ultimate's probably going to throw this off. I was actually hoping for this stream that we weren't going to get basic ultimate. But look, it is what it is. We'll just... Sweet. So, I don't think the music's too loud. I think I've got the range and everything set up. Oh, it almost got him. Almost got him. So, let's do this. Boom. We just sail away. I do want to push these out. About there. Maybe. Maybe just there. Maybe just re-roll there. Alright, let's catch up on chat. Christian says, let's go Anarchy. Survival of the fattest. But I tell you what, after all that food, and I just polished up a dessert that my daughter made for me. Like, it was like specifically for me, so I had to do it. And like, it was an entire tray of trifle. I absolutely love trifle. But anybody knows about things with cream on it? If it's got cream on it, Christian, you know a lot about things with cream on it. If it's got cream on it, you have like a limited time while it's fresh. And you have to pump it out. Oh, I should probably set the pro. Do we go boss first? And then I want to say something like this. I feel like it's saying like this. We'll just roll like that. We'll just roll like that. What did we say the cancel time was? We'll see how we're going. It's either wave 150 or 200. Good to see you live for the first time. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Squad leader Andy. Thanks for making it in, especially in the holiday season. Because while everybody is out with their friends and that, or their family, you chose to spend it with the big dog. Do we do it at 150? I feel like we squeeze it out to 200. And I'm really super interested And I actually want to go this. Do we go like that? I kind of like the skin. We'll just roll like this. We'll roll like this. There's literally nothing I can do on my tabs. Except for just sail it out. Look at all the bosses. Boom babies for days. Okay, so we're at 160. I think if I cancel it halfway through it, I've never done this before, kids. Super pumped up. But this is probably the funnest I've ever had with the tournaments with these changes. This makes it so fast. Alright, we'll do it at the 200. Cancel. Oh, does that take it to 210? And then the RNG just takes over, fam. We'll see how much chain lightning damage we got. So we got one little S. So the only thing I can do in this is these three here. Burn Tower, let's go! I hope everyone had a great time with all their family. I hope you guys had plenty of good food. I hope the fat jolly fella put socks and undies in your Christmas sock for Christmas. Something just chipped me. Did something chip me or was it a boss? Oh yeah, because of my death ray and that's literally doing nothing. Alright, I just gotta see what's chipping me. It must be the range. It's either range or fast. Or is it all in the above? Oh, it's probably range, because look how close they are to that yellow range line. Alright, Amp Strike's back up. Is this criminal if I run it at 3.5 speed? Alright, Amp Strike's down. The amp is down. Oh, we low-key fluked that one. So this is the problem I was having before. Look, and it's down. This is why I was so excited for the intro sprint. To see if we just get like a full send up time. Oh, come on, get the boss, man. Right, we're still hanging in there. I'm almost wondering if I should put range before the fast. Oh, we went to Boxing Day sales. And I got one of those bug assault guns. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know what that is, but if you've been living under a rock, it's one of those guns that you fill with salt, and it's like a pump action. And like, it absolutely obliterates flies. But I tell you what it struggles on, we got really bad, like, For some reason, we always get heaps of bees in my house around summer. My wife's allergic to bees. Has to take one of those injections into the leg. And like, no shit, those bees take like 5 or 6 like point blank range shots from the bug assault gun. It's like they're armored tanks. They're like the equivalent of like, if it was the tower, they're armored tanks. With like a max battle condition of armor. Oh, the scatter's got us. Yeah, there you go. You never know with basic ultimate. You never know like what the RNG is gonna be. So the amp struck is almost never up. So the next one we'll do like just full intro sprint to the second win pops. And then the next one, we'll try to cut it early. We'll try to read the play and we'll try to catch it before second win pops and see if we can squeeze out more. I was really hoping it wasn't going to be that. Either basic ultimate or the ultimate weapon battle, what's it called? The weapon duration down. Because that's another one that could just like RNG swing the wrong way. So I was also hoping it wasn't going to be that. Whoa, these things are tanky. Alright, so we'll probably get 265 waves. I'll probably put it on. I'll put it on like 265 because, you know, if we get clipped by something and then we get to use demon mode. How many waves do you get from demon mode? Is it like another 10? Maybe another 15? Of course I got no landmines. Oh, and a Death Defy. That's the other thing we got to contend with. The RNG of Death Defies, but we'll just ignore it. We'll act like it's a no-hit. Oh, super clutch there. Come on. I reckon like it'll open me up for chips. But I can't see any other way except for I have to put boss as my first target priority. Like that's just so tanky. Come on. Come on. Get him. Oh. Alright, 260. Not bad. Not bad. I actually thought less for this run. I was actually putting it on like 220 like the last time. Boom, there's second win. Alright, let's just send it. So it'll be like 270-ish. 270-ish, 280-ish. Wow, I've been so lazy this Christmas, honestly. Actually, the weather hasn't really been that well either. It's been like low-key stormy or pissing down. Here's Domingo. Let's go. Let's go. We're doing a bit of a test. So this is the first run on the test. So we basically cancelled intro sprint. And we're seeing how far we're going to go on like just running it as is. Versus like a full send as an intro sprint. And the main interest in that is the uptime on Amp Strike. Right, we got nothing left. We just got the nuke. Just got the nuke. We actually did way better than I thought. Had to do it. Had to do it. It was close. Bro, I missed out on keys in that last tournament by... Bro, there's heaps of protectors. I missed out on keys in that last tournament by... Was it like 15 waves? 15 waves or something? Super crazy. The only thing with that though is like 15 waves under this new setup is probably like the equivalent of like 50 or more under the previous. Alright, so we got what? 287. So there's the benchmark. 287. Like we usually do. We'll have a scan. If you see anybody you know, shout them out in chat. Might be either your mate or it might be your guildie. I don't recognize anybody. Alright, let's go again. Boom. Yes, please. Fire away. So probably once we get to a certain stage, I'll just slow the speed down. Just, you know, some of the emulator, sometimes it gets a bit funky. What's your PB with the new tourney setup? My personal best was actually the last one, which was 293. 293 is my highest. I was always curious where you're from, country-wise, I mean. Yep, New Zealand. So if you actually look at the screen, my CF Plus spins the other way. It's only my inner landmines that spin in the same direction as everybody in the North Hemisphere. Daniel Pye says, how long have you been playing? My tower sucks right now. I've been playing since August the 10th. August the 10th. Last year. August the 10th last year. Yeah, it's like that. I mean, I always feel like when I look at other towers and that, my tower sucks too. But I think if you're looking at anything to do, like as far as your progression path, because some things are RNG based, my best advice is just set yourself little milestones. Like, don't necessarily compare yourself to a lot of the guys that you might see on videos, or especially on Discord and that. You know, a lot of people have like super sick toys, real wicked setups. So don't really compare yourself to the setups that they have and that. Just compare yourself to yourself, like. And I know it sounds corny as it's like the thing that you tell your kids. You know, when your kids come last in the cross country or a sprint race, and you're like, you know, just compare yourself to yourself. Don't worry about the kid that comes first. You know, it does sound super corny, but it's super true, because there's far too many variables when it comes to like everybody's setup and everybody's path. Like, for the most part, the main goal is just max everything. You know, that's kind of like the name of the game. But if you're at certain stages in the game, like I've only just hit the mid game. I've been playing over a year and I've only just hit the mid game. And so I'm right at the start of the mid game. Right, we're already at 220. So we're on full send. Wondering if I should slow it down so I don't get chips. What did we get last time? Was it 282? Oh, so we almost beat my PB. Oh no, and the amp strike is down. What is going on? Alright, so we do still get a bit of downtime with the amp strike. But we get enough uptime that at least we get a little, we get some shots off. So we're at 270. So basically after this boss. Oh, the one landmine. Oh no. So we were like all out of our shields. Alright, this might be wings. This might be wings, fam. This might be wings. Come on. Oh, the landmines for the clutch. The Death Defy. What wave are we at? 300. Bro, this is criminal. Right, I got chipped from something. Alright, so now we just hang out to be able to pop the demon. Bro, I didn't even get a chance to... Oh, what? Did it take me out of... What the hell happened there? So I thought if you hit wings, you automatically get out of intro sprint. But it looks like you don't. I was like, why can't I push the button? Or maybe I have to complete the wave. Maybe it's something like I have to complete the wave. What happens if you run... what happens if your run is lower than the first? Which one will be the record? Well, it looks like we got a new record just now. Except for that, yeah. That kind of confusing. I'm a little bit new to this intro sprint thing. Daniel says, just been playing for 2 months. But I got really bad luck with Ultimate Weapon. I have 3. And 9 of them were GT. I'm assuming that means none of them. And none of them were GT or Black Hole or even Deathwave. So I feel stuck. Oh, bro, completely feel for you. Black Hole was my, like, 6. And it was absolute pain. So, just from not cancelling it, and we still could have squeezed out a demon mode? I don't know what the hell happened there, like... So I must have to actually still, even with second win, I must have to cancel my intro sprint. But we picked up almost 30 waves. 30 waves on the house. Okay, we're going to hit it again. We'll do exactly the same as what we did. Whereas I'm talking to you, Zay, the dogs are next to me fucking biting and humping each other. Alright, so we'll remember that one. So we'll run 5x, and then I'll slow it down a bit when we get to up to near the top. Like mid 200s, because I got chipped from something. It's that armor condition. That armor condition's like rank as. I might be getting 3rd place in Champions League. Nice. Nice. Is that the first time? Is that the first time, though? Congratulations, man. What up? Out of curiosity, what's the guy in first? How much waves did he get? Genuinely interested how the changes affect the champions. Because I'm pretty sure I still seen people do heaps of waves in champs, eh? John, what's up? Let's go. My EHP got me to wave 150. Nice. Nice. Nice, that's huge, bro. That's no joke, bro. Legends is absolutely no joke. Just the scaling is like unreal. Alright, what did I say? Mid 200, slow it down. After second win, cancel the intro sprint. That's what I'll do. Or leave it on, or something or other. Or something. I don't know what the hell happened there, but I couldn't push demon mode. I was locked out. Alright, so we're zerked up. We hit the berserk. Amp strike still pumping. Oh, we got the trio. Boom, lad. Right, gonna slow it down a bit. Oh, 4 bosses. That's good for the amp strike. Somebody said you're supposed to put wave accelerator on. Do we try that? Is that what I'm supposed to do? We'll do that for the next one, eh? If I don't botch up cancelling the intro sprint, we'll try that. And apparently that's supposed to help with the uptime on Amp Strike too. I can't remember whose stream I saw it on. I saw it on someone's stream. Come on, get the boss. The Death Defy. See, I just got chipped there from summing. So it's got to be the range. Alright. This is basically right where we were last time. Come on. Boom, there's wings. And I cancel intro sprint. Alright, and we demo moded out. So we might get 340 waves. So just having the intro sprint and doing that scungy ass technique, we picked ourselves up like another 40 waves. That's crazy. That is absolutely criminal. Imagine how fast our 20s could have been under the old setup. That is absolutely criminal. The main thing about it is we can try so many things on stream. Look at that health. Absolutely unreal. Look at these fat buggers. 237 big O. This is absolutely wild. I'm so happy with this. What a cheeky hack. What a cheeky hack. Alright, we'll try and get as many of these little bastards on the screen. See if we can get another boss before we have to boom. There we are. Now we sail it out. Bro, that is absolutely wild, bro. That is absolutely wild. Boom, look at that. Daniel the Conqueror in the house, my man. What's up, boss? Rappaport, good to see you, big guy. Hope you had a good Christmas with the kids. I like how if something sets your second win, it auto builds a new wall. Yeah, bro, that's super handy, especially in my farming. Because I use second win in farming too. Shaky, hello all. Did Uncle Fudd send you those RNG moments you've been patiently waiting for? John says intro script rules, to be honest, in Legends. 100%, bro. That's wild. That is almost 50 waves. Just shy of 50 waves, bro, just from an intro sprint. You don't bother cancelling intro sprint unless your demon mode is level 6 or above. Amp strike still gives higher damage. Oh, is that for mastery? Like where you got an auto demon mode? Boom. Okay, so we're going to try something else. What did I say? Wave accelerator. So we'll take off Death Ray. And we'll put wave accelerator on. And see if that gives us even more uptime. Alright. Let's do this. Boom. Full send. Yeah, bro, that is criminal. I can't believe that. So we're getting around 1 little S of chain lightning damage, which I've seen higher, but I've also seen far lower. I wonder how they are calculating out the spawn rate. 24. Oh yeah, it does look like they're flying in sooner. Or is that just my imagination? Yeah, if you have Demon Mode Plus, it gives you ×4 or above damage. Best to keep intro sprinting till your second wind goes off. But I want it so bad, eh? I just feel like I'm just never going to get keys. I feel like I am never going to get keys. Whoa, look at them all. Look at them all. We'll see if it works, eh? The wave accelerator. I can't even remember what we got the last time, but that was 100% a PB. That was a cheeky PB. As long as the basic ultimate keeps feeding us bosses, and not an unrealistic amount that we can't tackle, we're good. Like that. Just not an unrealistic amount. Just keep trickling them through. Right, somewhere around here I'm going to turn the game speed down a little notch. Just to try to stop the chips. Whoa. Oh, the wall invincibility and the clutch. Bro, that was so clutch. How did we get that? How did we get that? We're not allowed that. Oh, there goes a shield. Come on. Drill him down. See, something chipped me there. I got a Death Defy. Come on. Come on. Boom. Alright, so we're supposed to cancel this. Is that right? Cancel. Alright, we'll demon it. Now full send. So I was like 340 something. Now we're just relying on basic ultimate to get us some good RNG and Death Defies. So looking at these numbers, I think it was much samey. It was very samey. Oh no, what is this playlist? Bro, probably gonna get hit with a copyright. Yeah, so we basically got the same. Few waves difference. Crazy. Oh, I had a suspicion. I'm not gonna lie, I had a suspicion. I had a suspicion this little cheeky plan would work. Alright, let's sail it out. John says, game updates seem to be timing the nerfs with my progression. Every time I feel like I'm getting close to the keys, it gets harder and harder. Yeah, bro, I know what you mean. Boom, and that's it. So, let's see what we end up ranking with. So now we've got the silly game of count the buggers below us. Alrighty. I reckon we're safe. Yep, I reckon we're definitely safe. Now, as far as getting keys, I don't think so. So, I mean, this Joker's definitely moving up. Oh, Quados. So, we'd have to count. So, that's 1. So, that takes us to 14th. So, it needs to be, like, at least one person to kick up ahead of us. Like this Joker. And this Joker. So any one of these 3. Plus we got another one down the bottom. So yeah, we're probably out of keys. But look. We're doing it for the fun skis. Bro, I've been super loving the changes to the tournament, eh? Makes this end of it, like streaming it, so much more fun. Just short and sharp. Short, sharp and painful. Is there anything else we could try? Do we have anything else up our sleeve? Do we just try one with death penalty for fun? Or do we try one with this? Do people use this? I wouldn't even know. Do we just try it for fun? I can't see if anything else in here would help us get a better run. I mean, unless we just got like so lucky in a death penalty run. Just thought for the fun skis. 30 gems, ouch. Burnt House says, at John, all the nerfs just seem to give a boost to the pay to win folks, to be honest. That's how I see it. Yeah, it can be games like this that have that element of time, like time you'll never get back, and like time's a huge advantage. It I tell you what, I wouldn't like to be a dev. Especially if you're in this point of the game where you've got a lot of accounts. Like there's a massive growth to the population and an influx of accounts. Like a year ago. Like from like mid last year to like the first quarter of this year. There's just a big influx of players. They must have had a real strong marketing campaign. I mean, that's how I found the game. I've seen it literally on an ad, and heaps of people I talk to, exactly the same for them. But a lot of their accounts will be maturing now. Like, they're a year in. Like, if you're hanging around in any game after a year, that's a big portion of the player base that will become vocal to any changes. Like, people that are beyond that point, like 2-3 years, you know, they're probably not active in the sense of, like, hanging around in Discord. Like, there will be. I'm not saying that people that have played the game don't do that stuff. It's just a large portion of them probably won't. They'll probably have small little groups that they'll talk to, but for the most part, it'll be based around updates and stuff like that. Like, they're not going to be sitting there, like, asking questions like, what should I do for my cooldown? Or anything like that. You know, they know all the answers to that stuff. And their towers are a lot more fleshed out. So they're not going to be super vocal. Newer people are going to be pretty vocal, but there's probably, like, so many things are new to them. And there's so many hurdles that they've got to overcome that a lot of it will be sponging in growth. But there's this big portion of the player base that are all congested around lower legends and mid to upper champs that came in that influx when they must have did that big marketing drive. And a lot of those players will be extremely vocal about any changes that are made. So I'd hate to be a dev and make the wrong choice. Alright, so we got absolutely smoked. So, I mean, it's almost not worth not seeing this out. We'll just intro it to the death. Boom. I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything else except for trying this puppy. Hey. Hey, what's going on? Let's try it like something like this. Whoa. Wow. Holy moly, wings already. Bruh. Do we try that? I'm sure it's only good if you're like running assists in that. Same, it's how I come across the game. And that's referring to the ads. Shaker says, I was just about to hit Legends for the first time and the tourney changes made me drop in Champ. I was doing about 1300 waves in Champ and boom, down to Plat. Holy moly. My biggest, I don't even know if you say it's advice. My biggest kind of like recommendations to anybody that's in that kind of position is lean into damage. Like pump up damage everywhere. And I don't just mean like pump up Chain Lightning, because I think a lot of people fall into that trap. Like people will just pump this up to infinity and beyond, and like, yeah, for sure, I mean, getting a good amount of Chain Lightning damage is good, but adding any more damage on here, it's only additive. Like this damage number is multiplicative to your core numbers of like your damage, and then your obviously your crit factor and everything affects it. But pumping up, like if I doubled this to 1,000, that'll double my Chain Lightning damage, but it's working out how much stones to get that double. Versus I might be able to pick up, let's say like if I put 1,000 stones into that, where does that get my damage? Versus if I put 1,000 stones into say like Super Tower Mastery, which is multiplicative, and then that might 4x my damage or 5x my damage or whatever the number is, and stacking up the multipliers outside of just the damage is super important. So yeah, just find damage wherever you can, and CC's super expensive. So as far as you go for finding CC, I'm not too sure. The only ones that I know of, like your basic CC, is in a landmines. That's not really going to help you in champs. Or if champs is kind of, I haven't been in champs in a little bit, but if it is where I think it is, I don't think inner landmines would be any helpful for champs unless you go for glass cannon. And you know, to be honest, probably hybrid's probably gonna be where you're at. But like, you're gonna need inner landmines and you're gonna need Chronofield if you wanna do legends, like 100%. And it's not so much like you need it to get anywhere in legends, it's because everybody else has it in legends. You know what I mean? So it's like where the baseline of everybody is what you're gonna need at a minimum in order to, you know, compete against them, and that's the tools. And it can be a daunting prospect when you think about like how much stones it takes. Like CF, the thousands of stones that it takes that you've got to invest in, and you really want it somewhere else. So you could probably get away with like having a minimal investment into, like, you're definitely going to need inner landmines, but a minimum investment in CF, but you're going to need so much damage. Like, I don't know how much damage the 4,000 or 5,000 stones in CF into some multipliers somewhere is going to get you, if it can just outcompete. Like, you'll need the crowd control to be able to put out damage, to hold the mobs at bay long enough to put out damage. And then you're going to need just raw damage in order to do it. And the easiest way to do that is while you're in champs or you're farming, like, what, tier 11, tier 12? Somewhere between tier 11 and tier 13 is phasing damage. I think a lot of players rely on, like, Prim C or what's the other one? This one? Rely on this way too much. Like, the easiest way to phase into damage is to stop taking the 50-50 trade-off perk. The one that halves your damage to half their damage. Just stop taking that perk. And figure out what you need to survive longer through damage. Like, it's a massive achievement when you get to the point where you're doing 12-hour runs. Or like 3 8-hour runs. 8, 16, 24. Yeah, 3 8-hour runs. And you're not taking the 50-50 trade-off. It's a massive achievement. And figuring out what you need. So as far as the EHP goes, do the bare minimum, and this isn't one of those conversations where it's like this camp or that camp. It's just the probably the clearest way to put it. It's the most cost-effective way, especially if you're not buying stone packs. If you're not buying stone packs, go for the most cost-effective way, and it's not leaning into EHP. And it doesn't matter what anybody says, you're going to get to a point where you will have to lean into stones. Like to go the health mastery. What's the other one? Is it nuke or is it second wind mastery? You know, like all these stones that could just be going into your crowd control. You can damage your way out. Like that's my best advice for phasing out. And the sooner you do it, the more you're gonna thank yourself later. Otherwise, you'll just like you'll keep dipping backwards. Because everybody else around you will be doing it. Like, people will learn after these changes to the tournaments. People learn real fast you need damage. Like, if they're going to go into Legends and think that, like, Orbs and Thorns is going to save them, there will be players that will do it. But their accounts will be so retarded. Like, you see there's players with, like, 500 quintillion health. You know, quadrillion health, 9 quadrillion regen. Like, these numbers are retarded. And what they aren't saying when they're getting these astronomical numbers in health and regen and everything is they've got not only all the masteries, but their econ is absolutely insane. Like their GT, they got like the 14,000 stones in GT Plus and everything else around it, so that they can afford to be able to pump up all the enhancements for health and everything. So it's like, sometimes when you see videos and you see people do stuff and they're an anomaly, there's kind of like a reason why the meta or something shifts in a specific way. But yeah, do it in tier 11. Do it from like tier 11 onwards. Try to move up to tier 12 by not just using the sugar hit of health. Like, get as far as you need with your health that you can survive like a day's worth of farming, whatever that looks like for your time schedule, and get your way out of that to the next tier through damage, and then progress even further through CC. And I think that's kind of like the game plan of the devs, is that when they brought out Prim C and they brought out Sharp Fortitude, it was to like help add like a bit of an aid tool to like EHP and that sort of stuff. And it was like, I think possibly it's like in their hopes that people would use it not to choose the left or right camp, but to kind of be like a balance of both. But I think what's had like the opposite effect, where there's a large portion of the player base that can't detach themselves from like those two mods, and it won't do it. It won't cut the mustard unless you invest heavy in it. And it's not just the basic investment of masteries and getting yourself to the point of being able to like lab the mastery and all of that, you know, because it's really you don't need much to be able to lab masteries. Like, I did it in tier 11 under Orbless, but to get that next level, which is like all the investment and enhancements and everything, that's huge. It's massive amounts of money. So like if a large portion of the player base that are like in Legends or top of champs are going that direction, and if you veer off that direction to do something else, it's absolutely cool, and everybody should play their tower exactly how they want to play it. But if it doesn't, if it gets suboptimal results, it's kind of like it is what it is kind of thing. And like it's just the game design. Like the devs have specifically made it in a way where you have to lean that direction. Because, I mean, I don't know, in my opinion, it's like, we could see it as like, so you're doing both. You know, you're starting as EHP, you're moving to hybrid, you're incorporating damage, you still need some EHP to like, if I don't have any EHP in tier 14, overcharges ruin me. If I balance my attack level skips and EHP in it, I can just sponge it and just kill them through damage. So they do want like a bit of EHP, but probably the reality is the only way you're going to get damage in the top end, like I've almost maxed out all my damage labs, it has to be stones. Stones and masteries. It's the only way to get damage. And it's probably like to naturally progress people towards that direction. Now, I don't think it's one of those ones like it's to progress you to spend money. I don't have that kind of outlook on them, like thus sinister overlords or anything. But that's where, like, that's when you're hitting the mid game, where you kind of got choices to make. And like, I'm in one of those positions where I'm in a funky position. I get choice paralysis. It's just like, oh damn, what do I do now? Do I go this direction? Do I get what I want to do is I want to work on econ and do all these sorts of, do the builds that I want to do, but I feel like I'm stuck having to go a different direction where I have to chase you know, things that's going to help me in tournament and that, and I think it's just one of those things where it's like, is what it is. I swear that was the biggest tangent of my life. Whoa, catching up on chat. Alright. In 5 days I'm maxing CF and getting a few levels of CF plus, so I should be fine. Got GT6 already. That's awesome. That's outstanding. The CF duration lab is on a last level. Oh bro, how long are those labs? Those labs are so long that Ryan said that when he was labbing those, speed ups for the labs didn't exist. And then he didn't even finish it. He ended up quitting the game. Mine and landmine's the same as yours and it works great. I'm farming tier 12 about 4 to 5 trill an hour. That's awesome. I called my build Black Friday. I stopped EHP labs. But I wonder actually how high my ones are. I think my ones are pretty high. Where do I want to go? I want to go off this. Oh, 50. Walls 40. I was so proud when I got this up to about 40s. Don't forget the lab time needed for EHP. EHP labs are pretty long after 50%. And you want to invest your time to transition sooner so you increase economy by damage in CC. Rappaport says, you're making me seriously think. Good stuff. I've stopped EHP research but still use Primordial in the 50-50 in farms. Only increase damage, CF and SC and enhancements. Super crit. Crit factor. Damage, crit factor, super crit. Is it okay to get damage mastery, super tower mastery, even if we can only afford 1-2 levels of the lab and no keys? Yeah, that first level of damage mastery is like, what is it? 40% damage? Is it a 40% damage jump? So look at your tooltip. So like jump and run. Look at your tooltip, 11Q. Add another 40% on that. Like just from the unlock. And if you can get like 3 levels into it, or like, yeah, 3 levels, it's like double damage. Alright, I need to change into my, let's see how much I get out of this. 93, so I don't know where the hell the rest of my coin's gone, but I'll put it somewhere. Oh look, where's some coins here? Do we do one more? Oh, I already respect. Right, where do we go? Go this. Wrong. And then we want to go assist. But I tell you what I have been doing. Let's have a look at this. Where are we? So we hit 2 trill an hour. And that's for 4 hours. So my overnight runs about 8 hours. I started about 10 o'clock at night, finishes about 6 in the morning. So I have to try to figure out how many of these shorter runs I can fit in the day. To see, you know, ideally about 4 of these. To see, like, whether the juice is worth the squeeze for the higher coin per hour. And then once I max out that intro sprint, I would have to see what it's like to do these. So they're extremely comparable. Like 180, this is like a bad perk run overnight too. And then this one here, 190, that one's 200 on tier 14. I did another tier 14. Not this one, this was a like abysmal perk. Oh, I think I lost it. We're basically at the transition for tier 14. I can farm it now. It just depends on how many of these I can like realistically squeeze in a day. It doesn't really matter like how high of the coin per hour I can get. If one of my last run's only like not even a proper run versus what I can do in tier 13. I'm kind of thinking that once I max out, once I could do 5 of these. They're probably going to be less than 2 hour runs at 3700 waves. Because I have actually changed a bit. So I took off landmine stun. And the reason why I took off landmine stun was to fit an intro sprint. But then also the reason why I took off landmine stun is for basically having too much CC. Now what I want to do is what I need to do to get a higher coin per hour and make tier 14 viable is I need to run ACP. The reason why I can't run ACP is because I've got these orbs. And at minimum range, it looks absolutely ridiculous. It's like this. This is exactly the equivalent of this. Can you see it? Look how stupid that is. Those orbs just absolutely ruin my econ. Oh, we're in that run. So I'm in a dilemma. Do I roll that off so that I can use it for farm? And probably accept that it will probably end up costing me. I would have to roll off everything else and re-roll again when I want them back. Now, when I'm going to want them back is... This is where the theory crafting comes in. Is when I can get orbs line adjuster or whatever it is. Orb line or whatever the hell it is. The only problem with that is that so far away for keys. It's like months away. So it does make sense to roll this off. But then if I roll this off, I'm not going to get any CC from Space Displacer. So then to get CC, I need landmine stun back in. And if I put landmine stun back in, I've got to take something out. I can't think of anything to take out. Because I literally need everything that's in here. Now you might say, oh, you don't need cash. I could throw the cash out. Yep, I could. But that's what I sub out for ultimate crit. And I need ultimate crit. It's such a massive source of damage. So I'm in like a weird spot. So I think before I look at transferring to ACP, I'm gonna need the other card slot. So I could put landmine stun in. Like I'll have to have landmine stun. And then when I have landmine stun, I'll be able to roll off the orbs. And it's gonna absolutely kill me to roll those orbs off, because it costs me so much to get them on there. So I could probably, when I'd need to re-roll it, I could probably use this. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So at least I'll have a higher chance, so it shouldn't be too expensive. But probably scratch out the orb speed. And I'd need to go Death Defy as well, because I've got no Death Defy on here. And then I'll need the +2 orbs. But I'll never get that orb line. Like, I'm predicting till like August next year would realistically be when I'd come anywhere close to having it. And that's assuming that they open up a new bracket, which I'm thinking the next major update is coming in 36 days. Is when the next big update's coming. But I don't think they're going to open another bracket now. Not now. It'll be like 3 or 4 months later after that. I reckon that's when they'll do it. That's where I'm putting my money. Right now I have 152Q, 620Q after the boss. If I don't use my coins, I can lab 2 levels on Mastery, but don't know if I'll be able to try tier 12. Oh, and Super Tower Lab is at 0. Demon Mode Recharge 1. Shaky says, wish I had the orb adjuster, but still 0 keys. Yeah, it's so far up the tree too. Is it 100 and something up there? Where is it? Where is it? Is it that? Is it that? Nah, that's what we want. Bro, where the fuck is it? What's this? Auto Demon. Bro, I legit can't find it. Don't tell me it's past the restart. What's this? Damage Slider. Charge Berserk. Card Slot. Bro, it's so deep in the tree. So once you get auto restart, it'll be 5, 10, 15, 35 keys. Damage Slider's there, but honestly, before I'd look at Damage Slider, I'll just go for the Workshop preset. Even though it's like super expensive, because you could just devo your damage. And then maybe like later on, I don't know. That's like a year away. Have you tried farming 69.5 range? I have with the ACP, and the coins were absolutely rubbish. And even on like, like this was, like I've tried it multiple times, but like as a full reverse devo, making sure I wasn't spawn capping, perfect perk run, everything. Damage fully devoed, so like it's at the right level where I'm not over trimming, like everything. And my coins were so bad. I actually think it might have been one of these ones. I think it might have been this one, and I think I ended up cancelling it. Yeah, I think I ended up cancelling it. I was just like, bro, this sucks. Oh no, it was this one. Yeah, and I ended up cancelling it. I absolutely tanked, and that was like the most optimum I could get it. The only way to like to go past it would to be like brute force it through GT Plus for me. So I definitely, yeah, I gave it my best shot. Right, I need to do this. So we're at 8 now. One, two, three. Drive that at. Right, I've been like laughing quite a bit when I was seeing everybody like ripping on the changes to the enemy level skips. It's like they don't know where to spend all their coins now. Like, where the hell do I put all my coins? This. Rapid fire. I think that's how I have it. Still rocking 1.7. This. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What I do need to do is another thing if I move to tier 14 is I need to start doing some of health enhancements. Like that's probably where I'll put my extra coins. And that's just to fight off what are they called? Overcharge. Like if you got second wind, it's super cheese. Like when you get to stage in, there's probably plenty of people that are watching that are already in tier 14. But all you need is second wind. And it'll just like with a max recharge, it'll just automatically recharge before you know, the next fleet comes. It's super cheese. 2, 3, 4. But like what I have to do is I'll actually have to get a few levels in this. I'm definitely missing something. Yeah, that. Max that. Boom. Yeah, that looks about normal. So I got these mushrooms about to tick over. I'm super gutted I didn't cancel that. Like, what, we're at 8.6. So there's extra 7 Qs sitting there. But is it going to make like night and day difference? Nah, not really. Oh, should we see where we're sitting? Oh, straight away, eh? Yeah, so... But at least we're not going to get demoted. That is the main thing. 248 on the PB for the cheese. Cheesy as. We need to change our gun. And so I'll show you what ACP looks like. I'll even do a run with ACP. Those orbs are just wreaking havoc. So I pretty much just have to do this. And by the time this attack skips at a comfortable level, I just undevo some of the stuff. Now you might ask why, like why would you need to devo or undevo or whatever? Because I need it like this for my overnight run. Otherwise my overnight run will get no coins whatsoever. And then it'll actually defeat the purpose of all the coin gains I got in tier 14. Because the tier 13 is so close to it. We're not quite at the threshold where it blows it out the water. We're just above the mark where it's viable to farm now. Can you see how many mobs it's killing? Like, look how many it's killing on the outside. It's definitely what I don't want. So I really do need to roll off those orbs, but then I still need to put landmine chance back on because those rays are pesky. Those pesky bloody rays. You could try get orbs on the 161 slot and keep the module at 160. You could try get the orbs on the 161 slot and keep it at 160. That's actually super cheeky. Put it on that slot because it's so far up. I think you might be onto something there, Jens. The more I think about it, I also got those +2 orbs and I don't even want to know how I'm going to solve that issue. You could try OA instead of ACP. For farm? Do we try it? Where is it? Here? What have I got? Landmine, radius, landmine chance, shockwave frequency. What do I need? Death Defy or rebuild. We'll see if anything bites. I actually might do that, eh? I might try rolling off that orbs and putting on a different slot. Like, just re-roll the whole thing. That's actually a pretty sneaky one there, Jens. So what do I do? I'll have to knock off the intro sprint. What else could I get rid of in here? Actually, I know what I'll do. I'll sub out these for landmine chance, and then I'll just try to push through. Wow, look at that. How much damage the orb thing does. Electrons, 15%. That's cheating, isn't it? We'll see how that goes. What we need to do is we just need to suck it up and actually just buy the assist slot, eh? I think that's just what we need to do. And even if I put it in assist, it'll still be like a 10 times damage, I think. Where is it? Where'd you go? Still a 10 times damage. And then when we get to the point where we can re-roll it, then we can put it in the main slot. Bro, look at these electrons. I've actually... This is the first time I've ever equipped it. Looks sick. All those cheap cards along the way. Guardians. Bro. That's why I need you guys. Your assist core's at level 1. Oh, I don't have anything in here. It's about, I think at max, it's about a 10% damage. Which is nothing to... It's nothing to scoff at. But it's also nothing to write home about. My bracket's easier. I'm sitting at 17 with 220 waves. So BH bonus doesn't work if workshop is maxed. No, it still does. It still does. It still does its calculations. So what you'll see is the coins per kill. So it's at 45 at the moment. You'll see it jump. Oh, or drop. 43. So it's at 41. So it'll keep moving based on the free ups. But then what it'll also do is once you go up in a wave, it's already going to calculate out. It's already going to work out its calculations. It's harder to see in the start of the run than it is when you're like full on humming. But once everything's gold box and once you have all the perks, when you get wave skips in that, it'll bust out the calculations. Yeah, I thought it was the same too, and it took me a while to figure it out, but I didn't actually know like until I was staring at this, and it was actually somebody else's video in Discord, and they were showing it move around, and then I was like, whoa. And then so I waited until everything was like sorted out and gold boxed and that, and then I was like, oh yeah, I see how it works now. And then I want to get some health level skips for the overcharge. But I'm actually interested in how far this goes. Well, electrons, 9%. I think it's just the chain lightning is just pumping too much. Instead of war rebuild. Yeah. I think you're onto something there. I think you're onto something there, my guy. Just knock it off, eh? Actually, just knock off everything except for the shockwave frequency. And just start again. But have a good... I'll probably need like a good... Yeah, no, I just need to buy the assist. I mean, it's only 1,000, so that's like 2 weeks. 2 weeks of tourneys. And then we'll be sorted. Like, there's all sorts of things we could come up with. Like, we could run Space Displacer, Orbital, we could run ACP, Orbital. I'm actually just 1 copy off, I think. Is that it? Yeah, I'm 1 copy off. I don't know whether it's worth pulling on the banner for it, though. I suppose what I'll do, I'll turn the chain lightning off. We have to see what it does. Oh no! I think if I get this to like 25%, which makes me think I'm just going to buy it in the workshop, I think it's like, it's fairly comfortable for overcharge. So that it saves my second win. And I kind of like to save the second win for the random lag spikes, where like randomly everything will just crash into me. And what I actually think it is, and I've been sitting there thinking about it like this afternoon, is I think it's the CF. And I think it's why people, so it's at 55 seconds. And when people have true perma, they'll take it to 101 seconds. And I think it's because of that even with the perk, that transition from a 60 second to starting the fresh one, I think that's what's causing it. The problem is I'm not going to sit here all day looking at this countdown and try to time the flashbang pops and lags and those sorts of things. But I just have a little bit of a hunch. I have a hunch. Alright, I'm actually genuinely interested to see where this goes. But if I were you, I'd stack rerolls until I get to 201 and reroll from scratch the whole ACP and keep the orbs at 201. That honestly sounds like a plan. That sounds like a plan. Like, I'm not far off. Where are we? I mean, it's still far off. Each one's 6,000, but, you know. What's the next one from here? 6,100. So it'll probably the last level, like level 200 is probably like 7,000. But level 201 is probably like heaps. Like, you know how each chunk it has that massive jump? Did you watch Spartan video about the banner mod? No, I haven't. I haven't seen it yet. Daniel says, Spaces Place is really great for fast enemies and fast ultimate and increased enemy speed. God. So that's 2,000. So that's basically a month. A month. And I want to get Super Tail Mastery. I also want to get the substat, the multiplier efficiency. God, so this is the dilemma I'm in. There's so many things. I suppose that's everyone. I suppose it's not a bad thing to be able to like have to have choices. But definitely choice paralysis. Well, I think that's me, fam. How long we been at it? Hour and a half. An hour and a half, or what did we do? 4 or 5 tourney runs? Not that bad. Not that bad, fam. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks for listening to my rants. I will put up a video tomorrow. I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. I hope you guys have a good New Year's too, which is what, next week? Next week, 2026. Bro, what the hell? I can't believe it. Bro, I'm going to be 37 this year. 37. And that's where you insert the Kevin Hart. I'm gonna be 37. Damn. I'm gonna be 37 this year. What the hell? Having so much options on what to do and juggling your choices keep it fresh and interesting. If you're 100% maxed on everything, everywhere, then like anybody else, you're with the same progress. I 100% agree with you. I think choice paralysis is, and having options, even though it can like confuse you where you're like, oh no, I don't want to make the bad decision. I think there's so many toys. There's so many toys you can get that yeah, you just can't go wrong. As long as you're having fun and it doesn't feel like a chore. If the game's becoming a chore, then yeah, it's probably a different story. But as long as it's not feeling like a chore and you're having fun and you don't get discouraged, you don't look at other people's builds and compare yourself when there's so many factors involved, yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And as much as I don't want them to introduce new mods because there's still mods I want to work on, yeah, they can introduce new mods and can spice things up again. Like, look at this stupid mod that I'm playing with. You know what I mean? It's a prime example. It's an absolute prime example. Shaky says, I'm about to hit 32, so I feel you. John says, I'm 40. Damn! Nah, just kidding, bro. I'm only 1 inch away from 42. I'm not going to lie, though. I'm turning 37. But I felt like I was 40 ages ago. And it's now, like, how I live my life and how I am. I felt like I was 40 ages ago, but it's like now my body's physically catching up to me. Now my joints are sore. You know, I put them through a hard life at work. Sore shoulders, sore knees, sore back. You know, I tell you what, I put my socks on the other day, and not the other day, like just the other day, but it wasn't that long ago. I put my socks on, just like putting the socks on, go to pull up the hill, bro, I pulled my shoulder. I was like, damn, like my whole body's so old and stiff now. Yeah, it's definitely, if you're in the younger years, it's definitely something you don't want to take granted for. Fitter, stronger, handsomer, all the rest, and eventually it just catches up on you. Rappaport says, I've got all of you, I'm 45. Rappaport the GOAT. Rappaport's in the Legends League of our, we'll call it the time bracket. He's in the time bracket. Should we see where we're sitting at now? 16th. So I looked on this thing. Like, I don't know, somebody put it up somewhere. It was like Reddit or something. And it was showing, like, looking at all the rankings and all the waves and all the brackets and everything. And to comfortably get keys, the average was around 400 waves. So we got a bit to go. Like, the difference between 340 and 400 at the scaling is pretty meaty. Yeah, it's pretty meaty. I don't know how the hell we're going to get that. But, look, we'll get it one day. And then by then, the average will probably move again. And we'll just keep chasing it. We'll just keep chasing it. John says, yep, you need more stretching as you get older. You absolutely do. You absolutely do. So, if you like what you see, you know the drill, fam. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you can see when the next video is coming out. And as always, keep it cloudy, fam.